We're not going to, okay.
Yeah, we're just going to go to our next
straight
segment, which is web browsers.
Web browsers.
Yeah, which one's better?
We
actually have a list for you.
Yeah. And
here's the list.
Here it is.
Here's web browsers.
Web browsers, Firefox, Internet Explorer, SeaMonkey, Safari, Opera, Flock, Google Chrome, and
Epiphany.
Epiphany. Interesting.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Interesting
those are just some. Again,
there's a lot more.
Every list we make, we have to delete a ton of them.
Yeah, we have
to.
So
many.
There it is. Yeah.
There's just a lot. And then,
well, there's you got your other ones that come that well, what other ones have we tried? We tried Flock.
Ace connections or something like that. But those are the main ones.
Avent. But my favorite is Firefox. Because it's open source.
It's open.
It's open source, which we've talked about in the past. We had I don't know. What do you want? Like,
you can add. I think the thing I love about it, you can add applications where you can just go on and have.
That's open source.
Exactly, but you can go in and just they give you a list. You can add the emailer at the bottom that tells you the email.
Yeah, you have your Yahoo Mail. You can add. There's an application where you can add Yahoo Mail and Google Mail.
Yeah.
Up to as many mails as you want, and it will tell you when you have mail.
Yeah, you double click and it'll open up the mail.
Yeah, I like that a lot. I had that on mine.
And there's a lot of add-ons you can get. And
you can get thousands of add-ons.
I know, there's a ton. And then on top of that, there's I love the updates.
The updates.
It updates constantly.
Well, it's better to actually just uninstall it and then reinstall it than to update it. If you update it, then you get some of the updated features, but it's better to just reinstall it completely.
Yeah, download it.
If you reinstall it completely, then you're getting the full thing. I know their latest, one of their latest, when I read
3.5.1 or something.
Yeah. When I reinstalled it, I actually they have tabs, but you never knew that in the last version. And now that you know they have tabs, you can use them. But you never knew they had tabs unless you press Control-T, which is a new tab.
Yeah.
Or Control-W to close the tab.
Or you can go to File and Open Tab, buddy.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I know, but they wouldn't know that. You didn't know that until you saw it on the screen.
You know our opinion, Firefox. We love Firefox, but let's talk about some other ones. Opera.
Yeah.
Opera's another good one. I mean,
Opera, I like Opera for...
I'm pretty sure it's another open source one.
It is, but what I don't like about it is that it's too, it remembers too much.
Yeah. And
Firefox remembers your passwords as well, but this remembers
you can set
your forms and everything else, which Firefox does too, but this one, you can put in your name and your address and all that, but why would you want to do that? If let's say you go to a site and then you don't want that information in there.
Yeah, you want to change it.
And you have to erase it, and then it's like, well, and you might not even know what's in there.
And it's also more for fast connections.
Yeah, it is.
It uses a lot more bandwidth.
It does, yeah. You got a point there, but they don't have too many apps. The apps are basically on Opera already. Yeah. So what you got in Opera, you're stuck with.
And there's also less updates. It doesn't come out with 3.5.
Another one that we like a lot is Google Chrome. I love Google Chrome.
It's actually much faster than
Google Chrome is probably the fastest web browser out there.
Yeah.
With no question.
Yeah, it's a great web browser, but again, it's not as open as
it's not an open source, but it is. And this is Google Chrome, the browser, not the operating system. But Google Chrome is just because it's faster because I don't know why would you say it was faster?
I don't know. I guess it just opens less junk when you open your page.
It could be because it just transfers right there. It's just so much faster. Even with your slow internet connection, it's a bit faster. I think it's just because it uses less bandwidth and everything like that. But I would have to say Firefox, Google Chrome.
Yeah.
But I'll tell you this: I absolutely hate Internet Explorer.
Yeah.
Internet Explorer 8.
They're trying to copy. They're trying to copy Firefox and Opera, but they're not succeeding.
Who they think they is, you know?
And it's really bad even with Microsoft itself because they keep trying to open up junk. And it's probably one of the worst for viruses because
it doesn't protect you. Even though it says it protects you, it doesn't protect you.
Yeah, Windows Defender.
It just copies. Internet Explorer has been copying off of Firefox for so long. Now they have it so you save your passwords and everything. Yeah, useful, but it's not as good as Firefox.
And they tried to get add-ons, which didn't work out very well at all. They don't really have a lot of add-ons, and
like we said in the past in our first segment with
Google Chrome.
No, in our first segment.
Oh,
about how it forces you to use Bing.
Yeah.
It forces you to use the Bing search, and it's like, well, I don't want to use Bing search. I want to use Google. Firefox.
You have to go to Google.
Yeah, Firefox automatically has you use Google, which I like.
And you can also set it for tons of other ones.
And if you go into Firefox and you type in the address bar. If you type in
recipe
for a good hot dog or whatever, I don't know, recipe for a cake or whatever, it will search it automatically through Google.
Or it'll
bring it to the best page.
Yeah, the best page.
So if you have a search result you either search it in the Google toolbar or you search it in the address bar.
Yeah,
either way.
on the side there.
And you can add them. You can add it in all of them. Any of them you can add.
Most of them.
Say, okay, well, I want it in ask.com instead of google.com, or I want it in yahoo.com instead of Google. Yeah. So it's, I actually like that.
Yeah, definitely. And I love the fact that Firefox, I love Firefox in general. That's our favorite one. Yeah. So I think in the order.
Well, in the mail, as far as mail goes, Internet Explorer forces you to use Outlook Express, and I don't like Outlook Express because it's POP3 mail, which is prone to viruses. I would prefer online mail like Yahoo or
Yahoo
or
scans
Gmail.
For the viruses, and Gmail scans for viruses.
So I prefer to use something like Gmail, like we use for the show. Let's Talk Tech1@gmail.com. So, but I prefer to be using that. Okay, and I prefer to be using that rather than because you could switch it.
Yeah.
You could go into the settings and say, okay, let's change my mail from Outlook Express to Yahoo Mail, and then it'll automatically switch you whenever you click on a link to Yahoo Mail, and it'll send all the information.
Okay, that's our segment for today. Our next week's shows is going to be.
What's our next week's show?
Yeah, what's our?
It's going to be okay.
Smoothwall, which is an open source firewall program
that we use.
Yeah, we use it actually.
Yeah, we actually use
it.
And
then
it's
wireless versus wired.
By us. Wireless versus wired. Basically, we're talking about
Which
mice.
Yeah, mice and then
wireless
even
mice,
internet.
wireless keyboards. Yeah. Would you prefer to have a wired keyboard or a wireless keyboard?
And even
that's our basic questions.
And even internet.
Internet-wise, and all that. Okay, so that basically wraps it up. We'll see you next week. Peace.